Hello, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, founder of Antarctic Press, a small publishing company established in 1985. Also, the creator of such comic series as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, Mighty Tiny, Tomorrow Girl, Bikini Sentai, G Rangers, and the Marvel Mangaverse, among many, many, many others. I just can't stop. Just one of those things. I just can't stop. So I'm sorry I had not posted for over the weekend. I was in San Antonio, where my family mostly reside. My immediate family resides. I run Antarctic Press Dallas, which is the northern office, and my brother runs the San Antonio division, which is the southern office. So I was there to visit with family. Working out maybe ways to help my mother assist with my father, who's now currently 91 years old. She's getting kind of hard for her to take care of him. So I am in discussions to possibly relocate there temporarily so they can help with the everyday duties. But anyway, I talked to my brother and we were talking about, future plans for Antarctic Press. We're always coming up with something or another, looking at the latest trends, finding out what the new technologies are out there, things that we can do to help improve the viability of Antarctic Press. Truthfully, honestly, and we talked about this in length because we're very nostalgic as far as our running of being in the comic book industry as long as we have, and we are always amazed that we've lasted this long. And we talked about that. We thought, well, what the heck did we do differently than all these other small publishers who have come and gone? In the last 40 years, I've literally seen hundreds of small publishers come and go. There are some here that are still around, but you don't really know of them or see them. I would probably say that Antarctic Press is probably the largest small publisher there is. We are not the size of Marvel or DC. We are not the size of Dark Horse. We are not the size of even an IDW or any of those companies with huge, capital to work with. We've always been on very cusp of just being above water, which is fine. As long as you're above water, we're doing okay. That means you're still alive. That means we're still surviving. And to me, that's a key factor, is surviving. Now, how did we get to that point? Well, why do you think Marvel and DC are successful as they are? You may not like what they're doing, but, they don't care. They honestly don't. When you get to a corporation as big as Marvel or DC or any of these other huge entertainment corporations, I've always said this, and I'll say it again over and over again, that they simply do not care. They don't care about your opinion. They don't care about your thoughts. They don't care about anything other than how much money can you give them. That's the only single thing. Oh yeah, they'll play lip service. Oh yeah, we're trying to do for you, the fans, all that kind of stuff. Blah 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 blah. That's total hypocrisy and dishonesty, and I think most people know it. Most people also don't care. They just want to be entertained. Hey, I want to get my $10 worth or $20 worth. Have a good time in a theater, hang out with my friends, hang out with my family, be entertained. They don't want to be ripped off, so to speak, by paying for a movie that sucks. That the worst thing that can happen. It's like, getting a very badly prepared meal. You don't have to eat it, but you still got to pay for it. The fact of the matter is you're just probably not going to go there again. The thing about it is that sooner or later, large entertainment corporations are going to get it. They're going to say, yeah, the stuff we're putting out is crap. We need a change. We need to find something that will bring people into theaters and to watch our movies, be entertained. Same with comics. Right now, Marvel and DC, they don't care. They never have. They never. I mean, they used to. I'll grant you, when they were run as a comic book company, where they actually had to create material to survive, then they listened to the fans, and that's and that what made it very personable, and people created and started following them. But now they don't. They don't care. They don't. They simply don't. And the fact of the matter is, the mere fact that creators and editors and people who work for Marvel and DC are attacking fans proves my proves it. Just that they just don't care. I mean, why in the world would you ever insult your readers? It just doesn't make any sense. It does not. So the thing about Anarchy Press is that I knew from the very beginning that Anarchy Press had to have a presence on the comic book shelves. Had to have a presence. There's an old saying that says, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. If your books are not there on the shelf every week, people will move on. They'll forget. They'll find something else. Reason Marvel and DC dominate the markets because they dominate the shelf space. They're there every week. They consistently put out stuff. They make sure that they take the lion's share of the comic book shelf space. And there's no way publishers, can compete against that. And not even manga is on the shelf. They're at bookstores. They're not at comic book stores. Manga is just there, as a pickup. They're mostly graphic novels. That's what manga is. They're graphic novels. They're collections of stories that were run in the weekly, anthologies in Japan and collected in a single volume. Most of these people don't know anything about manga. They just like what they see. It's a nice self-contained story, with a beginning, middle, and end, and doesn't talk down to them. At least as far as we know. I don't know how accurate the translations are, but we'll see. But anyway, that's the one thing. Is the key factor is presence on the shelf. If you don't have presence on the shelf, then you don't exist. You have to have presence on the shelf. The next thing is consistency. You got to put out books that are consistent. Be it as they may. When they're not consistent, then you start losing readers. It's like, no, this is not what I'm used to. This is not what I want. It's not for me. So they'll just abandon that title. Until someone tells them, hey, you should check this out. Pick it up. So that's another thing that had made Marvel and DC a success. Now, recently, they could say they're consistent, but to me, they're consistently bad. I haven't read. I'll be honest though, I haven't read a Marvel or DC comic in a very, very long time. So I don't know really how good or bad they are. To be honest, I can't really say, because I haven't read them. It just don't interest me anymore. I read online with people who have read them, and just take their opinion about it. And I said, okay, I trust you. If it's somebody that whose opinions I honestly, genuinely respect, I trust their opinion on that. But I just don't care about Marvel and DC anymore. I just don't. It's one of those things where I think I've just outgrown them. The stuff they're putting out aren't very interesting. There's no style anymore. There's just nothing really to attract me to the stories. I look at the covers and I said, I can't tell one cover from the other. They might as well just not even put numbers on them anymore. This here it is. Here's the collector cover that you wanted. Go ahead and slab it. It's for you collectors out there. I always believe that if Marvel and DC really wanted to, just put blank pages. Don't even bother with stories anymore. Just put a really cool, awesome looking cover that looks great in a slab, and just have 32 pages of blank pages. No one's going to care. Once you slab it, you can't read it. So what's the point? There's no point. The only reason, and they could save a lot of money just by doing that. Just sell a blank 32-page comic and a cool cover. Spend all the money on the cover. In fact, what they should do is just pre-slab them. Just say, now you can just buy them pre-slabbed. Put them on the shelves, pre-slab them. Just go ahead and buy them right off the shelf. Don't even bother. If you want to read them, crack them open. But then you'll find out, they're all blank pages. That's just, might as well, the way the modern comic book industry is going. So for me, I believe that you have to have good story and good art. And while we may not be achieved to the level of Marvel and DC, I like to think that we have the starting off point for a lot of possible creators. We gave the start to a lot of creators, believe it or not. I could go through a litany of names that may or may not admit that they work for Antarctic Press, but the fact of the matter is they did. So it's just one of those things where if you're a small creator and want to really make a name for yourself, this is the suggestion I would make. Be consistent and get your stuff out there in some sort of regular fashion, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, biannually. You've got to produce material. Because it's just what comics are. Comics books are disposable entertainment. That's what they are. They're not like novels or books, textbooks or things like that. Comics were meant to be read and thrown away. That was the original intent. They were just simply a quick way to be entertained very cheaply, and then tossed until the next month's issue came out. But that seems to have changed. We seem to have lost sight of the fact that comics are now collectible. Collectible. And that's just not what comics were meant to be. Comics were meant to be disposable entertainment. And I think that the sooner we get back to that, the better. I mean, just because it's disposable entertainment doesn't mean it can't be entertaining. The whole reason is that you have to be entertaining so that they'll come back next month, then buy your book again. And that's, to me, that's the key to success. You have to keep that constant revenue stream going. Otherwise, you go out of business. Simple as that. And of course, I can't guarantee every single book you're doing is going to be a hit, but hopefully you'll experiment and decide and see what works and what doesn't work, and see. And if it doesn't, then you move on to something else. Don't be afraid to pivot if you have to. So anyway, I think that's one of those things that kept AP afloat for so long, is that we try every way we can to get something on the shelves. And believe it or not, that's a key component in the success of small publishers, or any publisher for that matter. So anyway, I will go ahead and like and subscribe if you like what you hear. And if you have any comments, please comment below. I do read them all. I may not answer them. I'm very bad at that, honestly. But I do read them, and I do really absorb what you've done. I may start commenting on them again, but that takes so much time. Barely have enough time to do this as it is. So anyway, until next time, this has been done. Signing off. And following will probably be a nice little promotion for a up and coming creator, which I would like to give a little, publicity to, and hopefully you'll support. Hey everyone, this has been done promoting a up and coming creator and their comic book creation. Today I'm going to be focusing on Ninja Blast by Fatal J, who has a YouTube channel as well, and has I've got to know through meeting with him through the Larry Higgins site, the Niobe podcast site. Ninja Blast #1 is out, or is being crowdfunded right now on Kickstarter. You know me, I love my ninjas. The story is about a young Shadow Blast ninja ace We begin with the story of the young ninja coming to full completion of his training and becoming a master just like his sensei Genshin, who is a father figure to him. On the day of his training completion ceremony of the Shadow Blast arts, he finds himself in the middle of a feud that spans over years between his master and General Ganto, who is Sensei Genshin's younger brother. Ooh, sounds very exciting. It's got lots of great pledge levels you can pledge on. It's got some great art, and I would highly recommend you to check it out at least and see if it's something that appeals to you, and hopefully you'll be a backer. So anyway, that's my little promo for today. And until next time, this has been Dunn, signing off.